Thank you for staying up. Everybody staying up for 3:56? One small step for a man, that's going to happen later. What we're going to try and do now is a bit of an experiment. It might not work, so please don't, throw things at me if it doesn't work. We're trying our best. We'll see what happens. Right, I'm going to talk you through what's going to happen, and then we'll start sort of experimenting with it in a moment. So, it's a Moonbounce. There's a lovely photo of the moon at the bottom. The Earth at the top, that was taken by Apollo 8. So that was taken in Christmas Eve of 1968. The first spacecraft to go around the moon and take a photograph back from the other side of the moon, looking past the moon towards the Earth. What we're going to do now is we're going to get involved with some colleagues who are in the Netherlands. So they're at a place called Dwingeloo, which is over there in the Netherlands, and I'll introduce you to them in a minute. And they're using this telescope. So they've got a radio telescope in the Netherlands. It's a lovely, lovely telescope that has it dates from 1956. When it was built in 1956, it was the world's biggest telescope. I'll just talk to somebody. Somebody was just talking to me on the radio from the control room, so I think I heard what they say. Thank you very much. Yeah, okay, that sounds good. So this telescope was built in 1956. It was the biggest in the world when it was built. Actually, in 1957, the one outside here got built, and it's about 10 times bigger than it in collecting area. But never mind, for a year, it was the biggest in the world. So it's a historic telescope. So they're going to be using that. What we're going to do is we're going to send signals from here, literally from here, from these in fact from this computer. I have to remember which one's sending and which one's receiving. And we're going to send them to Dwingeloo in the Netherlands. We'll use a modern form of technology known as Skype to do that. So that's about 570 kilometers from here to the Netherlands. And then what's going to happen there is they'll take that signal and they'll turn it into a radio wave and they'll transmit it from their telescope and they'll send it to the moon. So they pointed their telescope at the moon as we speak, and it's got to go 400,000 kilometers to the moon. So 570 kilometers to the Netherlands, 400,000 kilometers to the moon. When it gets to the moon, that radio signal bounces back off the moon. And so it comes back 400,000 kilometers and it arrives here, and we have a telescope on the far side of the site which looks like this. It's called the Mark II telescope. This telescope, poor old telescope, gets ignored because we have a much bigger one, the Lovell Telescope, which is in the background here, which is just outside. But this is a great telescope. It's a similar size to the one in the Netherlands. It was the first telescope in the world to be controlled by a digital computer. It's of the same age as me. It was born in 1964, so it's 55. And we're going to catch that telescope right this minute, and that's what the message was just telling me as we're pointed at the moon with that telescope. That telescope's also pointed at the moon. It's catching the echo, and then we're going to receive the signal here with any luck. Okay, who can do maths in their head? Okay, some people saying yeah. 570 kilometers to the Netherlands, 400,000 kilometers up to the moon, 400,000 kilometers back, 800,570 kilometers. Anybody know what the speed of light is? Can just one of you speak at once? 300,000 kilometers a second. So at that speed, 300,000 kilometers every second, right? The Earth is about 12,000 kilometers across. So 300,000 kilometers is sort of 25 or 30 Earths It basically takes about 1¼ seconds to get to the moon and about 1¼ seconds to get back. And if you calculate it exactly, it's about 2.7 seconds, that return, that journey. And the only unknown in that is how long does it take for Skype to get the signal to the Netherlands? And I have no control over Skype. So it'll probably take about 3 seconds, I think, to get all the way to the moon and back. So we hopefully should hear an echo after 3 seconds. That's the way it should work. Now, I'm going to show you a quick video of what things look like in the observatory. So this is the room where the signals from that Mark II telescope come into the building. I took this professional video earlier. There's the signal from the Mark II on the fibre, and I'm following the cable. It goes down the front of the rack, it gets to the floor, it goes along the floor, it goes out the door, it goes round the corner, it goes under the carpet, it goes past the University of Manchester logo, it goes up the steps, into the control room, through a box, into a computer, which is sitting on a table. We're going to see this in a minute. That was Mirza, there's a telescope, that's a control desk, and it's all good. Right? So, it's really happening. Hang on a minute, we don't want to see it again, do we? This is a picture taken the other night when we did a little bit of filming for BBC Breakfast. Tony Blackburn, not the Tony Blackburn, well, he is the Tony Blackburn. The Tony Blackburn, sitting at the back there. He's operating the system in the control room at the moment. We'll speak to him in a minute. And there's also a telescope controller in there whose first name he doesn't like, and so he's known as Ned Kelly. If anybody knows who Ned Kelly is. Right, well, let's have a chat with the controller. Tim O'Brien's control.
Go ahead.
Who's that speaking to us? You're live to an audience of quite a lot of people.
Okay, the telescope, we're getting on telescope onto the signal as soon as we can. Paul's in charge of the telescope at the moment.
Okay, so Paul is Paul Harrison, who's operating our telescope. So they're driving the telescope onto the moon at the moment. Right, let's go and see about the people in Dwingeloo in the Netherlands. So there are two main people in there, although I can actually see. I'm just going to switch to Skype. There's more than two people there, so let's see who they are. If I can bring up Skype, we ought to get...
Hello. Well, hello. This is frightening. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
So,
hello.
everybody can hear you here.
That's nice.
Welcome. Why don't you introduce yourselves?
Okay. Well, there are quite some people over here.
You start.
Let's start. Well, let's first start at this. Yeah, there he is.
Oh man.
That's Harry. He's a radio operator.
Good evening.
And here you see Martine. She's an artist. And here we have Harm. He's one of the cameras board. And there we have Sven. He's guys from. And this is Valerie, also an artist. And I'm Jan. And I'm also a radio.
Okay. I didn't catch everybody's names, but Jan and Harry I recognise.
Okay, good.
Okay, thank you very much. Right. No, I'm sort of reliant on this is quite complicated. I've got two computers, I've got a radio to talk to people in the observatory, and I'm sort of hoping that they're all ready to do things. Why don't you try sending your call sign and we'll see what happens at this end. Actually, just hang on 1 minute. I'm just going to show people the other computer. Okay, so this, so I'm just showing them the receiving computer. So this computer is showing the signal. This is replicating the screen of the computer in our control room, and so it's showing you the signal coming back from our telescope. It's also, have we got the audio? Can you hear the audio from it? The sort of noise. Yeah. So that's the noise signal at the moment. Let's just, I'll just check with the guys in the control room to see if they're on the moon. Tim to control, are you pointing at the moon yet?
It looks like we're pointing at the moon, but Dwingeloo are not transmitting at the moment.
Okay, we'll try and fix that. Hang on.
Right. Yeah. Could you start with your call sign?
Okay. Test, test, test. Papa India 9, Charlie Alpha Mike, PI 9, CAM, Papa India 9, Canada, America, Mexico. Test, test, test. Papa India 9, Charlie Alpha Mike.
Try that again for us.
India 9, Charlie Alpha Mike, PI 9, Canada, America, Mexico. Papa India 9, Charlie Alpha Mike. Papa
That's from the moon. That is from the moon, right?
India 9, Canada, America, Mexico. Papa India 9, Charlie Alpha Mike.
So that's so the loud one was from the Netherlands, the other one's from the moon. 800,000 kilometres.
Okay, guys, that works brilliantly. Thank you. Very good, very good. Let me just put you back on screen so everybody can congratulate you. Okay, now I have to try and remember how to use Skype. Right, I have shared my system audio with you, I believe.
Okay.
So let's just see what we get. We've done a test. Right. Let's just try this one. So I think I should be sharing my system audio with you now. So in a minute I'll press return and we'll start transmitting from here. And that should go through you to the moon, yeah?
Okay, perfect.
10 dB of a mouse with USB.
Okay, let's give it a go. See what happens. I'm going to try start now.
Okay.
We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon.
There's some feedback.
We choose to go to the moon.
There's a challenge.
We choose to go to the moon.
You see the signal coming back here in the middle. It's got to be lined up exactly to get the audio.
Did you hear that? It's a bit of a challenge doing this. We heard it at the beginning, right? So let's try and get...
We choose to go to the moon.
So we're just trying to tune in. We just lost it there for a minute. We got it at the beginning and then we
We choose
lost
to go
it.
to the moon.
Did you see the people?
We choose to go to the moon.
Nederlands zou je zeggen, gewoon de plaat blijft hangen.
Our Dutch colleagues, we can hear you whispering.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Maybe you should mute your mic. It's entirely up to you. I don't know who speaks Dutch in here. Okay, maybe okay.
André van Nes en Peter Hackman.
Right.
To make it a bit easier, I can talk in the microphone and sending my call sign. That's a stronger signal than this we choose to go to the moon. So
Okay.
they can find this easier. This is Papa India 9, Charlie Alpha Mike. Papa India 9, Canada, America.
Charlie Alpha Mike. Papa India 9, Canada, America, Mexico. Radio telescope Dwingeloo. Papa India 9, Charlie Alpha
Okay, so
Mike.
we can get that. Okay, we'll try something else. Are we still transmitting through you in Dwingeloo? Are you ready?
Yeah, we are ready.
Transmit. Michel.
Are you ready for me to play this? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm already
Okay.
transmitting.
Okay, we'll start now.
Okay.
Okay, Kraftwerk off the moon. Not too bad.
I saw them
Only 800,000 kilometres, but we could hear it, I think. Thank you. I hope our amazing gig that we just watched, we get a little celebration of that by sending a little bit of one of those songs to the moon. Thank you in Dwingeloo. Right, we'll see what else we have on here, and we'll just have an experiment. Maybe we should try and make sure we tune back in again. If you want to just send your call sign, please.
Okay. Papa India 9, Charlie Alpha Mike, PI 9, CAM.
Papa India 9, Charlie Alpha Mike. Papa India 9, Canada, America, Mexico. PI 9, CAM. Papa India 9, Charlie Alpha Mike. Papa India 9, Canada, America, Mexico. PI 9, CAM. Papa India 9, Charlie Alpha Mike. Papa India 9, Charlie Alpha Mike. PI 9, CAM. Papa India 9, Charlie Alpha Mike.
Okay, I think that's. I think we've got that. Thank you.
Right, we'll just play a little. The next thing we're going to do is a little message that we have from Buzz Aldrin. He actually sent us this message on the 40th anniversary of Apollo. So I'll play you the full message, and then we'll have we don't need to transmit this to the moon, Dwingeloo. So we can just we're going to play the full thing out, and then we'll play a version that we can send to the moon, if that's okay. All right. He says confidently.
We have good audio for Dwingeloo, Tim.
Did you hear that? They have good audio from Dwingeloo. Good. I don't have good audio from my laptop though. We can send things via the moon, but we can't play sounds on our laptop. I did tell you as an experiment. Bear with me. Let's try this one.
A small step for some of us.
Can anybody guess what the problem was? I had the speakers muted on my laptop. Sorry, it's a bit complicated. I've got to try and mute things and mix audio streams and send them. And you know, I'm an astronomer. I'm an astronomer. I can do the moon, but I can't do much else. Hang on a minute.
Yes.
Human pioneers always thankful for the predecessors of information that make what they're doing easier. I send my greetings to those of you radio astronomers at Jodrell Bank who paved the way for not just other electronic signals and robots, but us humans to venture outward and explore a close-in portion of the universe. Thanks very much for your help on this 40th anniversary of a wonderful opportunity for a few human beings and for the world. Indeed, a small step for some of us and an unknown progress for all the rest of us.
I am receiving, yes.
The control room.
Human pioneers are always thankful for the
It's okay, I know.
Now,
It's quite
Okay,
hard
so-
having conversations with multiple people in front of all you
Transmitting
guys,
now,
but never
right?
mind, bear with me. Right, okay, we'll move on to some other examples. So we've played a little sample from Kraftwerk.
Not
Thanks
everyone
for them.
knows what's going on.
I've got a little bit from Jarvis Cocker as well.
Meteen.
So we're ready to just play a little bit again to transmit to the moon. Sorry about that for the delay. So I'll press play on that now if you're ready.
We are ready. There we go.
That's Jarvis. Thanks to Jarvis on his guitar. Okay, we've got a little bit from Anna Calvi now as well. Just sent us a little sample, so we'll just pop that over to the moon and back. See how we get on with that. Just got another one to send now, if that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, I will press play on that now.
Don't beat the girl. Out of my boy. Stare in the light. Pale green eyes. beat the girl. Out of my boy.
Thanks, Twinicott.
Don't beat the girl.
Right. Okay, we have one more. We have a little sample from Jon Hopkins. We'll see how this goes. John sent us something that's a bit longer than. There's an interesting thing about bouncing things off the moon because the signal starts to come back after 3 seconds. So if you say something short like "Hello Moon," then you can hear the echo "Hello Moon." So that's why there's gaps in these samples. John has sort of ignored that. What we're going to play lasts longer than 3 seconds, and so we're going to get a sort of somehow we'll get a mix in of what he's sending out and what's coming back, and we'll just see what that sounds like. Okay, so I'll press play on that now, if that's okay.
Ready?
I'll try that again.
Yeah, it's a bit weak.
Yep.
Nice bit of feedback from the moon there, actually. If everybody here can say thank you to the people in the Netherlands. Oh, apparently they're pointing at the moon.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they have the same moon in the Netherlands as they do as
Right.
we do here. Or is it a better moon? I don't know. Maybe it's a better moon over there.
I don't know.
Wait for the Brexit.
Don't mention the Brexit. Don't mention the B word.
On the behalf of everybody here, I apologise for Brexit.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry I brought it up.
Yeah. Okay.
thank you very much. I'll say goodbye to you, and I'll say goodbye to everybody else in a minute here. Cheerio.
Okay,
Cheerio. See you later.
Bye.
Okay, right. So I think, I hope you would bear with us because that is a bit challenging. Don't call me back. We can't keep him back. He's calling me back here. It is quite hard to do. We actually were successful. I hope you did actually hear those echoes come back. So we got a bit of that working. And I think I'll have a little think about what was going on there. I suspect there's some complication involving where the audio is going between all these different systems that means it's confusing that particular bit of software. But thank you very much for staying here. I hope that was interesting, bouncing signals off the moon in real time. It is truly real. If you join us, if you're interested to hear more, and we had a moon line set up where people could leave their own messages to send them to the moon. We've got a selection of those. There were too many messages for us to send all of them, but we have a selection, and we're going to play them out at 2 o'clock in the Big Bang stage, which is sort of round the corner over there, so just the other side of the telescope. So thank you again. I hope you're having a nice time, and have a lovely evening.